Hi, everyone. Well, it is time for The Franklin Show. Live from Franklin with America's favorite adopted pup, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Lloyd Wright Sinatra Seltzer. I think I got that right. No hyphens, though, like my name. And of course, his friend and mine, and our favorite Franklin dog adopter, Michael Seltzer. I'm your announcer, in case you haven't guessed it yet, JoJo Shutty MacGregor. Landing my helicopter just in time on the roof here, in case you didn't hear the word, just to be part of this award-winning live show. Glad you're all here, first of all. And now, here's Franklin.
Whoa! Look at this! Look at this! People actually in color. I've never seen people in color at my show before. Thank you, JoJo. The girl's so nice, they named her twice. And no hyphen. JoJo Shutty MacGregor, thank you so much. And thank you to my band. I know you're back there. Yes, it's the Hickin Canadian Band. And I'm so grateful to have you here at the show. Well, who would have thought a year ago that this little ridiculous creation of mine, of me and my puppy, would turn into this? And here we are, a year later, award-winning, and, well, I mean, I hate to brag, but you know, there's this. And there's been great publicity for the show, which I greatly appreciate. Now, there are so many people that have written into the show and have been begging to be on the show. So I have a couple of Western Union telegrams here. I mean, when was the last time you saw a Western Union telegram? But here they are. And so this one is from Ronnie Wood. Now, you may recognize Ronnie Wood from the Rolling Stones. We spent a weekend together recently. He wanted to be here. So he says, Mike, I am so grateful for the opportunity to have spent time with you in Belfast, and I'm so sorry I couldn't be here tonight. How nice is that? From Ron Wood of the Rolling Stones. And then, oh, I got this other one. This is great, too. Rob Schneider from Saturday Night Live. Now, Rob and I go way back to, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago at a jazz club, and we spent some quality time together. He's a big fan of the show. He also wanted to be here, but, you know, he just couldn't make it, so that was really nice. And lastly, now this one made a lot of news last week. You all know about the Howard Stern situation. There was talk that Howard Stern was leaving SiriusXM, and of course, Franklin and I were in negotiations. Well, it was all a gag, and ultimately, Howard decided, I can't leave. So we will be joining Howard Stern on his show Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday on SiriusXM, so enjoy that. Anyway, enough about me. Let's move on to this wonderful group of guests that I have here. These folks are legendary in their minds and mine, and I am so appreciative to have my friends, including the ringleader, Mr. Dick Purtan, right there, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Dick and I go back many, many years, and I'll never forget how grateful he was when in 1988, as his career was just, tailing off, it was over. And I said to him, Dick, we're doing this Motor City radio reunion, a gathering of disc jockeys from all over the country. And I did this with a couple of my colleagues and friends, Art Volo, who's in the audience tonight, and the blessed memories of Dick Kernan and Millie Felch. They were members of this group that put together the Detroit radio reunions. And Dick said, I know there are plenty of other talents out there that could host this, but please, give me a break. I need something. And so we made Dick the MC of the Motor City Radio Reunion, and he's been our MC ever since, and we're so grateful to you. Thank you. Thank you for everything that you alleged to do. And then along with along with Dick is my friend and his, Joe Noune, the voice of Coleman A. Young. Yeah. And he'll be getting Krugerrands in exchange for his performance here.
Damn straight.
Yeah, thank you. That's the first time I've ever been called damn straight, I'll tell you that. Oh, now stop. So then, and then next to Joe is my dear friend Joe Shutty MacGregor, the lady that everybody loves and adores, the helicopter lady on the radio and on TV, and just a marvelous talent.
I'm the thorn between these 4 roses, or
Yes,
5?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It'll be
You'll
5.
let me get a word in.
If I go up there, it'll be 5, yeah.
Oh, it'll-
Yeah. No, I think I will.
I've got
All right, and then
Franklin.
Big Al Muskovitz. Big Al, one of the many members of Purtan's people over the years, and a brilliant genius and wonderful guy.
Yes, thank you.
And you are.
Yes, thank you.
And you look great.
And I have something in common with your dog.
What is that?
We both have heartworm.
Yes. Well, I didn't really want Franklin to
No, I know.
disclose. There is a HIPAA law.
Right.
So, and you're a doctor, so you know that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Take a look at
Ladies
that.
and gentlemen, Dr. Larry Lawson,
Yay.
who is the story lady, and Wendell Ledbetter on the show.
All right.
now-
Crapco.
Yeah. All right, so let's just talk a little bit about the history of this. Now, Dick, you go way back to
How far
Keener,
back?
Keener 13. I'll start with Keener. No, I'm going to start with Keener because that's
Biblical days.
my first memories of you. Being on one of the greatest radio stations ever in the history of Detroit radio. Am I right? Yeah. They went from 0
gonna say,
to 1,000
stars.
overnight in the 1960s. And Dick was offered an afternoon slot and turned it down. Then he was offered an early evening slot and turned it down. And then ultimately they called him and said, how about 10 to 1? And he graciously said yes. And that's where your Detroit career started. And it was a tremendous career.
And you got $100 for that
Yeah.
a week.
Well, I did, but
And then,
I
and
made
then,
more than 5 weeks, because that's all I had in Baltimore.
well,
I don't want to brag too much here, but
I know you like to talk about Baltimore, but we're Detroiters.
well, they beat the Lions pretty badly
Oh, did they?
last. Oh yeah, wasn't that awful? Oh, bad, very bad.
Wait, when?
We used to love
Last Sunday.
That wasn't Baltimore. That was Green Bay.
Oh, it was Green Bay. You're right.
See, he watches reruns of
Sorry
old
about that.
football games. So that explains that.
Yeah, that was
But
Green
here's the thing about Dick. Dick has an unbelievable ability to orchestrate. You're the ringleader. You always ran a show and you're so humble.
I am that.
And you deserve to be.
Yeah.
I learned nothing from you about that, but
Good.
that's another
Good for you.
story. But the talent that you surrounded yourself with, including this group of people, and your fabulous daughter, Jackie Purtan, who worked for me years ago.
She did.
Oh, come on, Dick. She worked for me, and then she left me for Second City. You don't remember that? She went off to New York.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
She did.
I know
forgot about
He's
that.
kidding. He knows. But anyway, but Joe, tell some. I want to hear the Coleman Young story. That's everyone's favorite story.
Well,
And there's many of them. But
I can tell you this, after living in the great beyond for the last 30 years, that heaven is a lot hotter than I thought it would be. That's a
What
good
the hell are
luck.
you talking about?
all right, but there's a great story that we've all known about over the years.
Okay, you're
where,
gonna-
where you went downtown.
Yeah.
And you did a put-on call to spoof Dick.
Yes.
And so tell that story because that's a classic.
Well, I used to work for the Detroit Pistons, and I got to know Isaiah Thomas fairly well, and he asked me to be on the No Crime Day. I think it was 87 or 87 and 88, I think.
Can you imagine Detroit having a no crime day?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, they're trying this in other places around the country.
Yeah, but it was actually a successful event. But
Yeah.
so I was on a committee with Mayor Young, so I got to know him a little bit.
Yeah.
And we met once a week for about 6 months. Anyway, I hid the fact that I impersonated him on Dick's show because he's about 6'3", 6'4". I'm not, and I thought he'd kill me. Well, he finally found out, and it was his idea to. He just said he wanted to play a joke. April Fool was coming up, so Gene Taylor and I thought, oh God, we thought the same thing. I have to be with him when he calls in.
All right.
So I always remember, I told his press secretary, I said, tell him I'll be at the mansion at 7 in the morning. And
The Manugian.
The Manugian.
And it was Dave Berg who was the...
Bob Berg.
Bob Berg. Dave Berg was an artist at Mad Magazine.
Yeah. So Bob called.
10 down, 20 points to go.
So Bob called back and said the mayor said be in his office at 9. So Gene and I had to come up with an excuse as to why I'd be calling in so late.
Oh,
So-
that's the reason.
That's the reason. Yeah. So I get down to the office and there's a little hallway and I stick my head in and he goes, there he is now. and I said, I didn't really want you to know. And he goes, every one of my staff knew except me. So, it's about time.
And he was a salty guy, wasn't he?
He was.
He cursed about everything.
Everything.
Every other word was...
Every other word was,
Bleep,
something
bleep.
like that. So,
Yes.
can I use one of the words?
Of course you can. Ladies and gentlemen, cover your ears.
One of the milder ones. So the script was, good morning, Dick, it's the mayor of Detroit. And we're sitting across the desk from each other. And I was telling about jokes I do on city council members. And then Dick's line, I always remember, was, aren't you afraid you'll get in trouble doing all that?
You worried about any of these people trying to get back at you, though?
Hell, I'm just going to tell him it's some damn Coleman Young impersonator. You know, there are a lot of them around.
Joe?
Hey, who is that?
And I said, well, who's on my phone line? And the mayor said, well, who's on my phone line? And he said, well, there's that voice again. What's going on?
What'd you say? Who doned my phone?
Who's on my phone line? Who's on my phone line?
Oh,
I'll type this out for you later.
please do.
We're going to close caption this show.
That's
good
right.
idea.
Because I know this is hard for people to follow.
So it was finally revealed that it was a real mayor. Dick was, stunned by the whole thing. So we played out the joke. Gene we signed off, and Gene got on the line and said, we're not going to edit anything. We're going to rewind it and play it as is. So in the office, in the mayor's office, we got the station tuned in. And we're both listening to it, and Dick was setting up, ladies and gentlemen, there's a fellow that does a Mayor Young impression. This just happened. So we hear it. And so I'm sitting there, just the mayor and I. He has a big high, leather high back chair. And he's listening, he's smiling. And I said, my God, when I hear, we were both talking. I said, when I hear my voice right on top of yours, I don't sound anything like you. And he swerved a little toward me. He said, no shit. I was the only person that heard that. So that
You didn't know that till that time.
right. No. So
Now wait,
We didn't have the heart to tell
wasn't there also a challenge that Mayor Young challenged Dick to a boxing match?
No, I think that was Bill Bonds.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a different.
I was playing along here.
Yeah, I know.
Imagine how
Confusing.
funny that would have been.
That would have been funny. Yeah.
Because he doesn't have a wig, and Bill did, and
Yes,
Bill's wig
that's-
would have gone flying.
it would have gone flying. Yes. So
All right, so that was a great story.
it was
a great,
funny.
a great story.
Thank you. Thank you. And you were part of it. You were an
I was.
integral part of it. You were the focal point of the whole
and
thing.
Coleman Young was such a colorful character.
He was.
And there was so much about him that you could use in regular material on the show.
Yes.
And just hearing his voice, I mean, even today, there are probably a lot of kids out there that don't know who we're talking about.
Exactly.
But, look it up, and you'll hear, if you hear him speaking, that guy speaks exactly. And this kind of reminds me of another thing that we did when we had Casey Kasem as one of our
Yes.
guests at one of our reunions. And we
And-
had a Casey off. And it was Jim Oakes.
Jim Oakes
Kevin O'Neill.
And Kevin O'Neill, who would have been here today, but he's got this little radio show he's got to do with Mitch Albom.
That's right. Yeah.
And my story about Mitch Albom. He wrote this ridiculous book called Tuesdays with Maury about some little guy that he befriended.
Yeah.
And I had written Wednesdays with Lori before that. And, he never gives me credit for the idea. But that's another story. So Kevin O'Neill, if you're out there watching this, what a shame that you're doing that little bit
That's
with
horrible.
Mitch
Yeah.
instead of being here, where you belong.
But I actually grew very fond of him because he was so funny. And
Coleman Young?
Yeah.
So you're the one.
Yeah. There are so many stories. at all these meetings, and I don't know why this one's popped into my mind, but I think Tommy Hearns was getting ready to fight somebody, and Isaiah was sitting in, our meeting was over, and Isaiah says, "Man, I don't know how anybody could take a punch from Tommy Hearns. I mean, that gotta hurt." And the mayor said, "Well, I'll tell you something, Isaiah. They get paid $1 million to take those punches. Hell, when I was a kid, I used to get hit like that for free." Every day he'd have a story like that. It was
Colorful guy.
He was very colorful.
And we've never had a mayor like that since, well, Kwame Kilpatrick. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's
He was
right.
entertaining,
Yeah.
too.
Yes, you were.
All right, on to JoJo Shutty MacGregor, my dear friend.
With 2 hyphens.
And with 2 hyphens, and don't mistake that because she's criticized me. I said to her, "This is Michael calling," and
Then
there's a
you got
hyphen
it.
in there. But anyway, so JoJo.
Okay, so is this the truth comes out?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody on this planet thinks I worked with Dick Purtan and just Dick Purtan.
Well, how the hell did you get on the show if you didn't?
That's what I'm wondering. Should
Yeah,
I leave
you know,
now?
That's a complete mistake.
Big
Would
mistake.
you mind leaving?
I'm taking
No,
Franklin
no.
with me.
I love you, and you have an illustrious broadcast history.
And to be perfectly honest, I have filled in any number of times as Dick has gone from one station to another. But my career started in the air, CKLW, presenting the girl you most would like to be caught in a traffic jam with, right? And this is when JoJo, the CKLW traffic copter lady, she tells you where to get off. I have never told anyone. I'm a very
was good
decent
marketing.
friend. JoJo sees all, knows all, and tells all. So I'm telling the rest of the story. I have filled in, and when it gets
Did Dick know that you had filled in?
Oh, yes, we were.
Okay.
There were times he'd be gone on vacation, and I'd be filling in while the fill-ins were gone.
Yeah.
But I didn't get to work closely with these guys.
Yeah.
I listened to you guys, but while I was on the air, of course, I'm flying in a helicopter, and all I know is that Dick and I, even though I'm a little bit younger, I wasn't on the air until the 70s. Everybody thinks, well, you were at CK in the 60s. I'm going, no, not yet. That was
your husband.
No, Byron. Well, Byron got there late '67, and that was when things were changing.
Like I said.
Yeah. But the one thing I wanted to make a point was when you get to the point that you're with Dick Purtan on the Free Press front page saying 2 legends are going to be at the Woodward Dream Cruise together, it's like you've made it, he's made it, we've made it. And so from that point forward, it's either that, now it's JoJo in the morning. And I just happened to meet Mojo.
Mojo.
So he looks at me, he goes, "You're JoJo." And I'm going, you're Mojo. This is my real name. He's just got a name like Mojo, right? So that's the rest of the story about that. And we can talk about Byron at a later date.
It was very fun at our last lunch, and Rick was there because he brought his friend Mojo. And I said, "This is great having Mojo and JoJo together." And then there was another Mojo years ago that nobody talks about anymore on WGPR radio. And nobody knows where that guy is because he never wanted to be seen. Very much like Alan Allman. He ran sort of under the radar.
Wow.
But there was a tribute to Mojo. Don Was did a tribute to Mojo at one of his all-star reviews about 5 years ago. And somebody said, Mojo is in that audience somewhere, but no one knows who he really is.
Like Waldo?
Yeah. Where's Mojo?
Well, you
The
know,
electrifying Mojo.
and the first question I got asked by Byron MacGregor, whose real name was not Byron MacGregor, he asked me,
Sid
so
Lipschitz.
And
he asked me,
changed it to Gary Mack to protect himself.
he said to me, "So what's your real name?" And I went, "Well, it's JoJo. I'm the second of 2 daughters, a few less than Dick had daughter-wise." And I said, I was supposed to be a boy, and so it's not Joe Ann or Joe Ellen or anything like that. It's JoJo with the hyphen. So to get baptized JoJo was a little bit challenging in those days.
Yeah.
But we didn't have an American Pope. He probably would have understood. I was named after St. Joseph twice. So it was Byron that got me
That's
into the helicopter.
fascinating.
I told him my story, but never asked him what's his real name until a lot later.
All right. Well, but go ahead and talk about
Okay.
Byron and
Believe
the
it or-
Americans, because we have Canadians in the audience.
Yes, we do.
Very
I
good friends
got
of
to-
mine, and dressed very well. We'll get some
And you won't have any problem
We'll
getting
get some
back.
imagery of that. But talk about Byron and the Americans, because that really was the
I
legend.
will. I'll do that.
Okay.
Let me just tell you, though, that it was very, very out of the ordinary for a top 40 rock and roll station like CKLW to not only change formats, become part of the Drake and the Boss format. That's where you had the music that was just blasting into 28 states and 6 Canadian provinces. But then you get Byron MacGregor that comes in at the ripe old age of 19 as the news director, and he says, well, let's not have people tune out. This is going to be a tune-in factor. And that's where 2020 News came. And yes, it was lovely. It fit the music. People to this day want to imitate it and blame Byron for every single glorious word that was. And for those of you in the audience, I'm sure you're old enough to have heard at least one newscast. And so then the next thing that happened is in late mid-'74, he decided that he was going to put up a helicopter to do traffic because nobody was doing traffic in Detroit. On the air or in the air or on the side of the road or in a taxi or anything like that. And Detroit being the Motor City at the time, second largest freeway system, second only to LA. No mass transit, that's still questionable, but it's still better. And the automotive capital. So he had to tell the people in Toronto that had Bayton Broadcasting at the time that we were going to have a helicopter up, and they said, well, there's no traffic in Windsor. And yet I did traffic in Windsor. I also did traffic on FM 94 Country. That was the FM station for CKLW.
Yeah.
And then they put the chopper up. And if you think that this was, I mean, the marketing, and you know the marketing. You were part of the marketing team. And Michael,
Thank you for mentioning
he
that.
can
No one remembers.
he can attest to the fact that it was so over the top. And then we had Gary Burbank, and let's just, a moment of silence, who just passed away at 93.
But JoJo, the really funny story that I want to share, and we have a clip of this, and it'll be out. James Drum, my crack editor, will add this. Is when we had he's not on crack. That's me. But we had one of our reunions, and Jim Harper was hosting a gathering in his studio on his morning show, and Peter Carey, who we all know and love, Peter Carey was doing his impression of Byron MacGregor doing 2020 News, and just like it was planned, and it wasn't, the door to the studio opens up, and in walk you and Byron.
CKLW 2020 News. This is Byron MacGregor. A tisket, a tasket. They went home in a basket. That's it. 2 Detroit U's, well, they didn't make it home today. They were scraped off the pavement with a spatula. That's right. Stay tuned. Details are coming up on CKLW's 2020 just walked in.
Byron MacGregor just walked in, folks, along with JoJo. This is too wild.
Let's have it from the real thing here. Let's have the real thing. Let's have the real thing.
You mean this just in, this just in?
The look on everyone's faces that morning.
The most important thing was we walked through a huge studio, didn't hear what was going on at that very moment on the air. And the key to it all was that Art Volo, who is in our audience.
Art, please, keep it down.
Indigestion.
Right. Yeah.
He was the one that happened to have a camera rolling, and as he puts it to this day, they were really hard to start up on a drop of a hat, right, Art? And so he was rolling. So
You had to grind it and wind it up or something.
Yeah, wind it up. It was almost that long ago. So to see the look on Byron's face, and Peter Carey is going, uh-oh. His eyes got bigger and wants to move out of his chair, and Byron's going, I think they're taking my name in vain here, or something like that. So, I mean, but that's the power of radio, first of all. Let's just talk about that, because we're radio people.
And Art got a big award, finally got a big award for Byron.
Oh,
Eventually.
yes. Byron got inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame, Broadcast Hall of Fame, but let's talk about Mr. Dick Purtan.
He's in?
I already did.
You're,
Who
you're
among us
my
isn't in the Radio Hall of Fame?
I was the first female, though.
What about in the audience?
Traffic reporter. No, but I wasn't. So when it's all
It's a
said
big
and
honor.
done, I was the first female helicopter traffic and news reporter in North America, because we took in both the U.S. and
I
Canada.
thought that was Colleen Burkhart all these years. I'm sorry.
And so everybody, I think Colleen
I
got a
don't think
little.
I ever heard those words uttered out of your lips in the last couple decades.
Chances are.
Well,
Johnny Mathis,
at one point there
Johnny
was.
Mathis?
You couldn't handle South America?
I don't know.
Okay.
I did.
Oh, you did?
North.
All right. Just to keep the pace of this
Yes.
moving along.
Yeah, skip over and go to Larry.
Big Al,
Good.
my friend Big Al Muskovito, Al Muskovitz. Just everybody loves Al, and he does really good things in his life.
Yeah.
With the veterans and
I do. I try.
and that's nice.
Yeah.
You write really nice articles about people who host TV shows with dogs.
It's amazing
recently,
what, yes, artificial
recently-
intelligence.
recently in the press.
Yes.
Very nice article.
Thank you.
If you
Thank you,
haven't
Michael.
seen it, we'll put it up on the screen, and there'll be a link where you can subscribe to the newspaper that he works for.
It was the only way to get you to stop asking me to write about it.
And I had to basically write it my damn self.
Yes,
and
he
then-
did, but actually.
More truth
But
facts.
he's so busy, you know. I mean,
Terribly busy.
Yeah.
Did
But-
you actually write it or type it?
Yeah, I used a little Royal typewriter,
Royal,
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
He still has a ribbon, so I was able to do it.
An Underwood.
But you started your career on the advice of Sherry Margolis, TV2 reporter, who knew you and said, you know, Al, you're a funny guy. Although we see very little evidence of that.
Right.
But you were a funny guy, and it was her suggestion that Dick consider you for the program. Am I right, Dick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you regret anything about
Yes,
that?
I do.
Yeah.
Because
Takes
there
two
were
of
better.
us.
There were far better persons.
They were far better.
Yeah. And
But
you
they-
had most of them on the show.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so now,
Well, Sherry is a dear friend of mine, and her husband, still, she does not like to take credit for that relationship.
I'll
with
never
Dick at all.
mention again
No,
on my
she-
show,
because
Sherry
she knows,
Margolis, don't worry about it. It
Well,
will
she-
never come
well,
up.
she knows the media business, and eventually you're not going to be working. So she didn't want any part of that. But I got fortunate to work with the best. I was never in radio. I was in advertising, and at the age of 40, Sherry was my best audience and always made her laugh as friends.
Yeah.
And her husband, who unfortunately, best-selling author Jeff Zaslow, who died unfortunately in an automobile accident, was one of the most creative, incredible people I know.
Yeah.
We were on a little weekend getaway with them, and I was making Sherry laugh. She goes, "You should be on the Dick Purtan show." I said, no, to me, that was like, yeah, you should be on the Johnny Carson show. So she called and talked to Gene Taylor.
Yep.
And they talked to me. I said, put an audition tape together. I did it within less than 24 hours. Gave it to them. They said, do you do Bill Clinton? I said, no, I don't. And I went home and I went, why did I say no, I don't? So I went home and practiced Bill Clinton. And because I couldn't, right? And eventually,
You should have lied. That's what we
Yeah.
all do in this.
but fast forward, I worked part-time for Dick at Q95, and then it really changed my life when he asked me to join the show full-time at WMC. It changed my life for the better. It was great.
Changed my life too, Al.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this
I love
is
you,
getting
Dick.
maudlin. I don't
Yeah.
want any of this
It
fake
didn't change
fawning.
my life at all. Not even a little
So,
bit.
so let me ask you a question. Do you think that if, for instance, I spent more time with Sherry Margolis, she would have suggested that I be on the Dick Purtan show instead?
No, she would have gotten a private. She would have gotten a private protection order.
I beg to
You know, JoJo doesn't tell the real truth about her mother, by the way. I don't know if you know this.
What?
She doesn't tell the real truth about how she got her name.
How did she get her name?
Her mother, and thankfully she got over
And
it.
by the way, she doesn't want to be mentioned
Right.
on this broadcast.
You don't want your mother to be mentioned?
She made it to 99 and she's in heaven.
Okay, no, it's all right.
It's okay.
No, it's all
I
right.
didn't know you
I
knew
did.
her.
No, I did some research.
You can't be certain she's in heaven.
You're
I
ruining
mean,
my
she-
setup.
Right,
Anyway,
go ahead.
Don't make assumptions.
her
God
mother.
knows God knows everybody.
Her mother at the time of delivery.
Her mother.
Her time at the delivery. You talk about ruining timing. Here we go.
This is
I'm going
the
to try it anyway.
This
Yeah,
is the
at the
truth.
truth. At the time of the
Truth comes
delivery,
out.
she got over this. But when she delivered JoJo, at that time she was a stutterer. Come on, people. Come on, JoJo.
Believe me, they're gonna
They're gonna edit that out because of political
No, we're gonna
correctness.
have the big, sad trombone.
Yeah.
And,
That's, well, at least
I
you.
thought you were talking about Sherry.
No,
I thought so too.
I said JoJo's name. You got to listen to your show.
I'll try.
JoJo with a hyphen.
Did
We're
you guys
gonna need-
understand it?
Franklin's
Not
listening.
We're
really.
gonna need the closed
You just didn't think it
captioning.
was funny.
Franklin's confused.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's that. You-
Yes.
That's
and,
that.
And now
We could
today,
put that to bed.
I'll
yeah.
have to change my story.
Right.
I'll tell the rest of the story some other time.
No, you can tell it. All right. Anyway, let's
Yes.
get on to Larry Lawson, Wendell Ledbetter, and the Story Lady. How did that all evolve?
Well, I was a kid. I was like 19 years old. And
Really?
I was writing for a friend of mine who was on a college station and then moved to London, Ontario. And I'm writing lines for him.
Yeah.
Dick comes to town and I'm listening to him, big, huge fan. This is 1966, 67. And,
Wait,
one day
so
I...
you were listening to him on what station at that
Keener.
point? On
Keener
yeah,
13,
yeah.
from 10 to 1.
See, it was a good thing you took
And-
that job.
65.
Huh?
65.
65.
You got there in 65.
Yeah, I
Right.
thought that's what you meant.
But-
Kids,
Pardon me.
don't argue. Tell the story.
So one day it just dawned on me, maybe I can do this. So I called Dick at the station around 10 o'clock, and you got on the phone, believe it or not. I mean, I was like, I'm talking to you. And I said, can you use some, material? I write comedy. He said, sure, meet me at the station tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. And
Really?
It was like a dream come true, right?
So you went to that studio
So
on
I-
Michigan Avenue?
So I
in
drove
Dearborn.
down. I remember driving down the Southfield Freeway listening to the letter by the Box Tops. So that's how I know it came out in 67.
Yeah.
So, and I pull into the parking lot in the Robin Seymour Memorial Freeway in the backyard.
Yeah, that's right.
And Dick pulls up in a big red Continental with the doors, those
What a
doors like
fancy
that.
boy you were.
You
Oh,
were.
yeah, well,
you were.
what do you expect?
And introduced myself, and he said, "What do you got?" So I handed him some Wisniewski commercials, that I wrote, and he's reading them while he's walking down the hallway to the office there, and he's laughing out loud, and I am like in heaven, like Dick Purtan is laughing at me.
And you were 19 years old?
Yeah.
I was faking it, Larry.
So I hear.
Years have taught it.
Right. And he said, Dick said, you do voices. And unlike Al, I was dishonest. I said, sure.
Do you do Bill Clinton? No.
No, I don't. Who is that? I don't know.
I don't know who that is.
Anyways,
What are you doing?
I have no idea who I'm
We'll
doing.
dub in Bill
Hillary?
Clinton.
Yeah,
It'll be
thank
fine.
you,
James,
thank
you
you.
got that?
So, well, I think we were talking about Wendell. So
Yeah.
I was a huge fan of Pat Paulson at the time.
Yeah.
Loved
Who
Pat
ran
Paulson.
for president back then.
Yes, I
Great
interviewed
guy.
him.
Did
actually.
you?
Yeah, at Olympia Stadium. I
We'll have to
interviewed him.
find that.
I have it on my phone, actually.
All right, well, you give it to us.
Yeah,
You'll
well,
give it to
it's
us.
about
You
15
interviewed Pat Paulson.
Larry has everything. He's got every beta ever existed, every
Wow.
cassette.
If it wasn't for Art Volo, I would
Yeah.
have the world's biggest beta
Yes.
collection.
Yeah,
Right.
I think Art wins out.
So,
So you go ahead.
so I think Dick suggested, because I talked about how much I like Pat Paulson, can you do Pat Paulson? I said, sure. So I wrote some Pat Paulsons and did Pat Paulson. But how it got to Wendell Ledbetter was I did that for a few years, and then Paulson was no longer, or there's no more
He
Smothers
lost the
Brothers.
presidency.
He lost the presidency.
Who was
no
his
more
vice
Smothers.
president candidate? Does anybody remember who he ran with?
Bill Clinton, I think.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's what it was.
Really? Bill
No,
Clinton and
no.
Pat Paulson?
No, I think it was
I think it was the other way
Coleman.
around.
I think
That was a
Coleman
joke.
Yeah.
That was
Oh, it was a
right.
joke.
Yes, that's what we call a joke
Yeah.
in the business.
So years
I got
later,
you.
there was the Purtan People on the afternoon show on Channel 4, and Dick said, why don't you do Pat Paulson? But he said, but make up another name, because Pat Paulson had been out of the news for
Right.
like 10 years. So I got to a phone book, and I just kind of looked through the phone book and came up with, Wendell is a funny name, and Ledbetter, that's great. So I came up with Wendell Ledbetter, and we did it on the air, just like Pat Paulson and
I've
the
never
Smothers
heard
Brothers.
these stories before.
You were there.
I should
And-
use
yeah,
that
it
one
was.
how I got my name, maybe. picked it out
Well,
of the
my mother was not a
Mother
stutterer.
No stuttering?
No stuttering.
Okay.
No.
So, all right. So, and how did you happen to meet and interview Pat Paulson? Was he coming through Detroit?
Yeah, he did a thing at
a campaign stop.
a campaign stop at
That's what
Olympia.
they're called.
Oh my God!
And I remember I asked him, "How do you like Olympia?" He says, "Oh, it's great beer." Oh, you mean this place? You know.
So
but-
he's funny.
Yeah, well, I was not funny. I didn't know how to interview. I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was not an interviewer, but I read some interviews that he had done in other cities, and I asked him the same questions.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be a good interview, only because I.
Well,
I
we'll
did
be
that.
the judge of that, ladies and gentlemen. That'll be coming up on the show.
That's right.
All right. And then and what about the story lady? How did that come up?
I think Gene Taylor did something like
Could be.
like that initially, but then he said Gene was a great guy, and he said, you know, why don't Larry, why don't you do the story lady? So I did that, and I actually did that for all those years, and I would come back from Cincinnati. I did my residency in Cincinnati in radiology. I thought I was going to radio, but I was so
You
shocked.
took a course
It was the
in
third
radiology
year- it was the
thinking
third
you were
year-
going to be a broadcaster.
It was the third year of my residency, and I said, "So when do I get to be funny?" And they said, "No, you got to read these X-rays." I said, "Come on."
All of us, the Purtan people, we got free X-rays anytime. I
know what
can
you're
get
gonna
one
say.
every day.
Larry had the single funniest line I think I ever heard on Dick's show, which I literally fell off my chair and I had trouble breathing, that I cannot say here because I'm worried what would happen. It's cable, I know you can edit, but you know what I'm talking about, Larry.
No, this
It
is
had to do
really
with-
unfair.
It's unfair. I'll tell everybody here off for $5 what Larry said on the air. It was clean. It was perfectly clean. It was
How about
just-
1996?
You want me to do it?
Yes.
That's clean.
Yes, who wants you to
possibly
do it? Yeah. Yes, I want to hear it.
If it's the funniest line, we're going to watch
Well,
and
you
see
see-
how many people are going to fall off their chairs.
No, they won't.
You can't start a
Strap in.
story saying this is the funniest thing.
I know. Well, I would because I
second
really did.
funniest.
The second funniest thing. It took me completely by surprise. This ruined Norm Macdonald's career, by the way, when he did something like this. It's a whole nother story.
They're going to forget what
I
you're
know.
talking
I
about.
hope they do. So he's doing his story lady. Hi, Dick. You know, you always talk like that. And he'd always say, "I've got a story. You want to hear it?"
Want to hear it?
And Dick would always go,
Yes,
yeah, I
I
want to hear it. And he goes, "Little Miss Muffet."
Wait a minute, it was 1996.
Oh, yes, excuse me. See, I call him Logic Larry. I start in the middle of something, ADD. So, yes, it was in 1996 when O.J. kind of lost his popularity.
You're not supposed to do the
Why?
punchline in advance.
This is, you know what?
I'm sorry, this
it's-
is my fault.
It's
I'm
live
screwing 'em up.
television. I just don't know what to do. But he said, he goes, "Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, eating her curds and whey. Along came O.J. Simpson and killed her." It's still funny. I don't care if you ruin the setup or not. I almost lost consciousness. Almost lost it. And then I'll tell you one more. Can I tell one more Larry story? Because he is.
Larry does and you've got to.
But
When
he's
he-
not telling any stories.
No, I want to hear
Wasn't it
this.
Wendell Ledbetter and Wendell? He's on with Wendell Ledbetter, and he says to Dick, you know, you used to talk like this. You know, he says. So he says, Dick, I pulled up to a red light, today, and a guy with no arms flipped me the toe. And I'm not making this up. Right? The rest of this is absolutely true. I swear. That same day, I had a public appearance to make, and a guy with 2 hooks came up to me. I'm not making it up. And he said to me, who did that? I went, well. He said, it's the funniest thing I've ever heard. And I think his nickname was Hooks, and he was a big listener of the show. But how is that possible? That the day he uttered those words, I saw this guy.
Flipped me.
And then he killed me.
What was this guy's name?
I think he called himself Hooks. He had 2 hooks.
He was the biggest listener.
He was a big listener. He couldn't turn the dial, but he was a good listener.
Okay.
Your show ranked #1.
It did?
Yes, with
Which day?
listeners with hooks. By far.
Thank you, man.
It was #1. Yes.
All right.
Well, we had
We appeal to hookers.
I have one too.
Go.
And when Wendell, Larry's heard this 1,000
turns out you were
times.
the funniest guy on the show.
Yeah, I mean, we were in Florida broadcasting.
Oh, no.
Oh my God, this was so.
Yeah, oh no.
And we all got invited to a midnight launch of the space shuttle, which was an incredible experience. And where they put us was the closest place you could be if you're not working on the rocket.
Or leaving.
Yeah, you know, it's where all the media is and everything else. And it was amazing. So the next morning, Larry wrote a Wendell Ledbetter bit, and he was talking to Dick, and he was talking about the experience of the space launch, and he goes, Dick, I can't do his voice. We were so close, we could hear the astronauts screaming.
Oh, my God.
I tell myself that about once a week.
When you're treating patients, are you this funny?
I try not to be.
Okay.
I don't think they appreciate it.
And do you share with your
work?
patients that you've done this?
No.
No.
I don't go out of my way not to, but I
Yeah.
don't.
You don't.
It doesn't come
You don't
up.
have your wall peppered with awards and things.
No.
That you've,
No, it doesn't come up.
You're so unlike me. It's unbelievable.
Everybody.
Well,
Yes.
at this point, and I'm with all these imaginary people,
Yes.
I just want to share that this is also what I got to listen to with Gary Burbank, only all of his voices were in his own head. So he did all his characters.
Yeah.
He was the Reverend Deuteronomy Skaggs. He wasn't Wendell Ledbetter and the story. But that's the other thing. And the people that came through the radio station would be in the studio with him, and I wouldn't know that. Well, I'm flying for 4 hours in the morning, 3.5 in the afternoon. But Cheech and Chong were in there. And all of a sudden I'm going, and Gary
Could you
says,
smell them when you walked in the studio?
I wasn't in the studio.
That's
I'm in
right.
a
Yeah, you're up
helicopter.
there.
And
She was high and they were.
well, he just took the punchline.
Oh, I'm so
Did
sorry.
he always do that?
And her mother was a stutterer.
Mother must be in your
sorry,
head.
I should
My
apologize.
mother.
I can't hear anybody up
But no, seriously, Cheech and Chong are in there.
Did I tell you I once met Maury Amsterdam?
Yes, you
Okay, go
know.
ahead.
I love that.
Can you
We'll
imagine
talk about
working
that.
with this crew? Dick, you're a saint already.
saint?
A
Saint
saint
Dick.
dealing with all of these
Yeah, you heard that.
characters.
I did hear Saint.
I only had to deal with the one, and all those voices were in his head. But so I'm in the air, and all of a sudden it's Gary Burbank saying, "Okay, let's go to JoJo," and then I hear somebody go, "JoJo, are you high?" And I'm going, "Whoa!"
Sorry,
Yeah, that's you took
I'm sorry.
you took Cheech's.
Yep.
No, you took
Chong.
Chong's. Yeah. Well, all
She's a
I remember
stutterer.
saying to myself was, I know these names. One of them, I think, smokes something, and the other one they're both comics. And so after he said that, I came up with my best line. I said, "I'm high above the Lodge Freeway."
Very good.
And everybody went, "Did you
Wow.
really mean that?" I'm going, well, I mean, I didn't quite.
They weren't used to you being so funny.
Well, they weren't used to me being so. As Herb McCord, our general manager, was once asked at the border, Herb, how's that JoJo in the traffic copter now working out? And he said, "Oh, she's perfect for the job. She doesn't smoke, drink, or do anything." And I'm going, it's hard to live up to. You know how that goes
Yes, I
sometimes.
understand.
But no, Gary was that person. But when it was all said and done, I got to work with Elton John, EJ the DJ. It was that kind of station. And so at that point, I'm going, "Oh, hi, Elton. Are you having fun yet?" I sound like I'm about 12. And Elton comes back with, "Yes, JoJo, how are you doing out there on this nice day?" He sounded like he was about 16. But that was the excitement for me. People ask me, well, what was the most exciting thing? Actually, it was being in the air, seeing the sunset, the sunrise. Those are just memorable in themselves. People also ask me what were the worst times, and of course we had some crash landings.
You
but they
couldn't even hear her scream.
No, but Gary Burbank, we lost a fan belt, and we landed at the Chrysler plant on I-75 in the Davison interchange, and we had to go in for an emergency landing, and all Gary Burbank said was, Well, folks, we don't have contact with JoJo. She must have crash landed.
Oh my God.
And my dad's driving down the Southfield Freeway
Oh
to the
my
Ford
God.
Motor Company going, oh dear, I've got to get off
Oh my
and find out what's happening. So, I mean,
Was that the end of his career in Detroit?
No.
It should have been.
No, but he
No, Gary Burbank was on the air for how many years? in
Oh,
Detroit?
probably 4.
Yeah, he wasn't here that long.
He was
The
I was
morning
a-
mouth.
I was a perfect foil,
Yeah.
but so was Byron.
Yeah.
And so then he chose to put the two of us together, whether we meant it or not.
Yeah.
And so he would say, JoJo's gone to London, Ontario, and Byron's off in London, England. And people are going, are you two really an item? And so when we told him eventually, after 3 years, not 3 months, that we were going to get married, he went, oh, hey, man. And then he used a couple of foul words. I was just teasing you two. So just a moment, because he'll be missed. And he kept up what he was doing, doing podcasts and going,
Yeah.
you know, on the internet and everything.
Right.
And so to just lose him is nice to be able to talk about him amongst you guys, because
Well, we're not going to end on a somber note.
no,
so-
we won't do that.
Can I add one thing? before
Yes,
go?
you may.
All right, it's a public, no, it's not a public service. And I spent 14 full-time years on the air with Dick, and I was the self-proclaimed, and I wore it proudly, I was the biggest suck-up in the history of radio to work for him.
You still
but
are.
he
really
all
was.
these guys, we wouldn't have done what we did if he didn't just allow us to be funny. I remember saying to Dick once, I'd go in, how are the ratings, Dick? He goes, I'll worry about the ratings, just be funny.
Allow us to
Did I say that to you?
He insisted, that's right.
Choice words.
Really?
Yeah, you did.
Good
You
advice.
insisted we
Don't
be
worry
funny.
about the ratings.
Well, look at we were
He said you'd worry about the ratings.
Oh,
we should just be
okay.
funny.
we were all there on the last performance
Yeah.
by Purtan and Purtan's people, and it was highly emotional. It wasn't for you. You were
That's right.
just
Not
you
at-
were
not at all.
You were just level and put on the best last show. That studio was jammed with media,
It
and we
was.
were all there, and your daughters and everybody in the community was there crying because this was the end of an unbelievable era. But he was just so professional, and always was in every capacity.
Right. And-
I am so in awe.
And his philanthropy too, I should
And his
What was that, Al?
Your
the
philanthropy.
bed
Oh,
and bread
thank you.
club for
Yeah.
the Salvation
Oh, really?
Army, where you raised millions of dollars every
Bed and
year
breakfast
and
club.
continue that philanthropic. That's a big part of Dick Purtan, and I am just so
Here's
grateful.
the other part right here.
I know.
and to think this is your last show. What are the chances?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is our first anniversary and last show.
To be
But-
perfectly honest, though, without Art Volo, who got that last day,
You
of
don't need
Dick
to
on
build
the air.
his ego any more than it ought. His big birthday is coming up here
But
at the
you
end
can
of
go
this
to
month. People are flying
Volo
in from all over
videos,
the
and you'll
world.
find some
Yeah.
of these choice
Bring a
moments on the air.
defibrillator.
But aren't we lucky? I don't,
By the way,
said bring in the
I wouldn't sleep tonight if I didn't say that Ron Tavernet, Ron T from WRC
Ron
is
T's
in our
here.
audience.
Ron is in the audience. Wrote an
Oh.
unbelievable book.
Yes, he did.
That Ron was a guest on my show.
I'll call
and
him back.
I have shared. That's okay. Take the calls.
yeah.
That's really important.
One of my daughters.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
it's
fine.
got too many.
Put them
Hello,
on
Jackie.
the. Oh, let's all listen in to the phone.
No, you don't want to do that. No.
Jackie, we're doing this radio show that I told
It's a
you
TV
about.
show.
Cable show.
TV show.
Get rid of her, Dick. Get rid of her.
We have 6 minutes to go, according to this.
Yeah, we're done here. We're done. We're wrapping this
But we're
up.
lucky we had radio like it is
Yes.
now in this
Okay,
town. And
what-
of course,
what is
we've
the
got
update?
wonderful people that
Got
have
an
stepped
upgrade on
into
news.
some of
What
our
is it?
shoes or our helicopter wings or whatever.
What?
Yeah.
But he's going with it. He might want to go back on
Live
here.
television, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
this is
what
what
happened?
happens.
You know what? My wife is calling.
I
Hello?
turned my phone off.
Yes.
You know, but that's just me. I
I've
don't
got
know.
Cheech.
But anyway, I just want to thank. Go ahead, handle your call.
Can I tell a quick story?
Oh, yes.
There's no such thing as you telling a quick story, but
Listen.
let's try.
I just,
Infertility.
This show will be continued.
I just want to mention Gene Taylor.
Oh,
who,
God.
Yes. That was,
you know, who we lost 01, I think. It's been 24 years.
I wonder where
He
he
was.
He would appreciate that. He
He
would
was on a
appreciate
hayride the last I saw.
Yeah,
it. He was a
so
genius.
wonderful.
He was a genius.
Ankle Stewart was a huge part of
Jim
that.
Oakes.
Jim Oakes.
Jim
We,
Oakes.
we've
And
lost
we
a
just-
lot of Purton's
Dave
people.
Zorn.
Dave Zorn just passed away.
Mark Andrews.
Doc
Did you-
Doc
They were all
Andrews.
great.
Doc Andrews.
Well, Doc
too.
Andrews also, I'll make it very
Imitated-
quick, Byron, he used to do, "This is Gordon Kincaid."
That's right.
And
2022.
it's wonderful.
He did do
And
that.
let's not forget that you asked me about the Americans, and since Byron did
Yeah,
just
but that
get
was
in-
an hour ago. We're done.
I'm speaking
No,
for
go
you
ahead.
here.
Go ahead. I'm just
It's a
No,
callback.
Just kidding.
It was a love letter. It was a love letter written by a Canadian, Gordon Sinclair, and Byron saw the editorial in the Toronto paper. He picked it up, finished a public affairs program by reading it. The next thing we knew, Armand Baladian from a record, I didn't know him at the time, but Armand Baladian heard Byron on the air with it, and the switchboard had blown out at this point because people wanted to know what was that, play it again, and he said, play it again, play the whole show again. It's a half-hour public affairs program. Anyway, it sold 3.5 million copies, and he donated all the proceeds. To this day, we're still donating the proceeds to the American Red Cross. So to help people in need, yeah, that's what we do though in radio and TV. You become part of you, all of you that are watching us and all of you
Well,
who are
this
here with
also
us.
is a telethon, and all donations to the MS Foundation, MS, Michael Seltzer
Yeah,
Foundation.
I saw that coming.
They are tax deductible, and I thank you all.
But no,
Okay.
we didn't need NIL. We were who we were, and we are now doing what, still being with you to represent those that can't be with us.
Right. And,
All right.
and jewelry, gold, commodity, gold, silver.
Cougarans.
That's Cougarans. Cougarans are especially desired on this program. And if you have any money in a ceiling tile in your house, or
does anybody have any questions here for anybody?
God.
No, I didn't think
Good.
so.
Somebody-
Ladies and gentlemen,
Somebody asked me if I
Thank-
was Christmas Carol in the Thanksgiving Day parade, and since you brought up Solomon Young twice, 4 times, I did it with Solomon Young and with Roman Gribbs.
very good. Thank you.
she's coming.
So,
I know.
Roman Gribbs, we all remember him.
I was Hanukkah Harry for a
But
Dodge
Dick
Shalom
was the
synagogue.
master of ceremonies
Ladies
one of
and
the times for
gentlemen,
the parade.
thank you very much for being here and honoring me on my first anniversary. You all mean so much to me. We do these monthly lunches. Many of the people in this audience come to our
it's a
monthly lunches, and I am very grateful
Wow.
to the friendship that we've. Oh,
Whoa, wow, look
well,
at that.
well.
Whoa.
Oh, how sweet that is. Happy 70th birthday and happy first anniversary. That's very lovely. Thank you very much, dear. Thank you.
Birthday
Now,
to you.
here we go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Michael.
Seltzer.
Happy birthday
to you. Rehearsal went very well. Thank you very much.
Larry's birthday is Sunday.
Okay.
It is.
Oh, I thought it was for me.
My 7th decade, and thank you to all of you here tonight. To my executive producer, Carrie Lazat over there, rarely makes an appearance on the show. She'll be making more appearances on the show if she wants to keep me. That's another story. I thank you all for being here tonight. This was a great honor and a privilege for me.
Franklin.
And to my dear friends. And this is really the star of the show.
Yep.
Without Franklin, there would be no
And
Franklin.
he's not a statue.
Thanks, everybody, and good night.